In this week's Parsha, when our forefather Yaakov had lived in Mitzrayim already 17 years, and he was towards the end of his life, he gathered his children around his bedside, and before he passed on, he wanted to give them a blessing. And he tells them, "Eis asher yikrar eschem be'achris hayomim." My children, I'd like to share with you what will happen to you in the end of days. Now, why was that important to share with his children what's going to happen throughout life, throughout Jewish life? You see, in last week's Parsha, Yaakov was the one that went down to Egypt, which ultimately led to the terrible exile in Egypt. But the Haggadah of Pesach teaches us, and don't get scared, Pesach isn't coming up yet, it's just a reference, that he was forced to go down. Hashem forced him to go down to Egypt. Now that's interesting, because if you go through the Torah, it doesn't say anywhere where Hashem forced him to go down. He willingly went down to Mitzrayim, to Egypt, to visit his son Yosef, who was the king, the emperor of Egypt at the time. So what does it mean he was forced to? You know, the answer is because a tzaddik, a righteous person, knows what Hashem wants when he gets the message from Hashem. You see, his son is missing 22 years. Now all of his children went down to buy food, and this king locked up Shimon, then locked up the younger son Binyamin. And Yaakov was sitting in Israel saying, "Hey, wait a second, something's going on." Until he said, "God, I got the message. I know what you want from me. You want me to go down to Egypt." When God sends us messages, he's not going to talk to you with a voice. He sends certain message, things happen, and we are supposed to figure out from those happenings what Hashem wants from us. And that's why it's considered he was forced to go down to Egypt, because he got the message from Hashem. When Yaakov told the children what will happen to you at the end of the days, the exact wording is Eis asher yikrar eschem. Yikrar means happenings, but it also means callings. And that's the message. Yaakov was telling his children, throughout time, there will be many happenings. Many things will happen to you and your children. But each time something happens, it's a calling. A happening isn't just something random that happens in the world. It's a calling. Let us learn that message. When we hear these happenings all over the world, let's take the message home and use it as a calling from Hashem. Hashem is talking to us, and every single one of us could derive an individual message for themselves. You know what Hashem wants from you. Wake up. This is a calling to you. Good Shabbos all. Good Shabbos from the Traveling Consider.